Perfect. All right, we're joined by Nick D, and we're told that, first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all?
We're doing good.
See ya.
Yeah.
All over the place, manager, actor, what can't you do, radio.
I've seen some modeling shots,
Yeah.
man.
Too, yeah.
The man about town.
Yeah.
But we were told to ask you about something that we have no idea what it is, but it's the White Boy Challenge.
Oh. All right. So this was probably mid-2010. So, this had to be 2014, 2015. It was a promotion called TNT Championship Wrestling. They ran out of Carborough. So the promoters came to me like, hey, we got this idea that we want to do. Now, they did it before previously in WWE with Rodney Mack and Teddy Long. They would do the White Boy Challenge where Rodney Mack would just come out and beat up some jobber.
Yeah.
Guys were like, hey, we're going to do it here. The problem is we're doing it at a bar show. We have alcohol involved. So they tell me, hey, just go out there and get heat. It doesn't matter. Just say whatever you want to say. I done had a couple of drinks in me. So first thing I go is, now mind you, we're in Carborough. So Carborough is first of all, I come out in a Duke shirt. So that was already strike number one. But two, they were like, just say something around the crowd. So I was like, what do I know about Carborough? Okay, Chapel Hill. Yeah, so Michael Jordan called Dean Smith Massa. That was already enough to just set them off. At the time, there was a basketball player, P.J. Harrison, who kept getting in trouble at Carolina. So I kept saying stuff like, yeah, I'm glad P.J. left this rotten town. Y'all didn't treat him better. Blah, blah. And I think that was it. But that was just enough to, rile the crowd up. And then they would bring out, so who are you managing? So I managed Cozone. So Cozone comes out there with his chain on as an homage to Scrappy our dog. May he rest in peace. And so they just fed them different white boys to wrestle on the show. And they would just be like, hey, go get the crowd angry. Be militant black man. Then have this black guy go out there and wrestle all these white people. So, yes, that is the infamous White Boy Challenge.
That is awesome.
That's incredible.
And here we are today. Cozone is putting on a bar show of his own. We're here for the Firestar show. What is your favorite moment that you've been involved with in Firestar?
See, I go back the beginning. So, for me, February. I can tell you the reason why I know because I remember the date, verbatim. February 2nd or 9th, 2014. At the time, I had met with Cozone, and Cozone was like, I got these ideas that I want to do, and I really want to push Scrap at the time as a champ. So we were like, okay, but we need to form a group.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. He was like, and it's crazy, ironically, I did a show previous couple of days, and I was like, hey, Mark was like, Mark James, shout out to him, was like, hey, I think you should manage this guy, Joe Black. I think you guys will be perfect. Joe doesn't really talk. He's just more, and we were like, cool. So then I put that piece in, and then at the time, Marcellus King was getting ready to come back, but he was doing a different gimmick. So he was like, I'm going to put you with him. So it became me, Scrap, Marcellus, and Joe, and we formed this group called The Revolution. And
what a stable.
Wow, what a pack of guys.
Yes. So, and I was the mouthpiece. So I'll never forget it because the main event was Trevor Lee, who's now Cameron Grimes, against the Kamikaze Kid. They had a match. Kazi beat him, and then we bum rushed the ring. And because we had won earlier in the night, we had won the Contract Anywhere match against WRAL's Chris Lee. So we won the match, and then he bum rushed the ring, and we jumped him and Scrap hit him with a gut buster 1, 2, 3, and the crowd was shocked, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" They wanted to riot. I mean, they were just throwing stuff in the ring, and we took off for a year and some change, running Ruckshot through Firestar. So
that's awesome.
That's probably my best moment.
Yeah,
since I've been here. So.
That's awesome. What is looking back at Firestar? What is obviously it's become this there's the concept of a Firestar guy. These are the Firestar guys. They're on TV. They're getting signed. What is for you? What is the thing that sets Firestar apart from a lot of these places?
I think, and I know it's going to probably sound crazy when I say this, but to me, Firestar is the place that you know that you're going to see somebody on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been from the beginning, from Trevor Lee to Adam Page to Cedric Alexander to No Way Jose. And these are just, like, we're doing shows with them is regular. Like, they're regular guys at the time. To Caprice Coleman to now Marcus Cross, Griff Garrison, Jay Malachi. Like, those names, you start seeing them, like, they all came through Firestar at one point. And so I always tell Coz on this, like, he had his finger on the pulse because he saw at the time, like, hey, I'm booking all these guys, and then little do you know, they're starting to get picked up. So it's like, to me, Firestar, and that's not a knock against any promotion out there. I don't want people to be like, oh, he's just bashing anybody, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you were at Firestar, that is the place that it seems like it's getting the most eyes. So I mean, you see.
They are the consistent.
Right, and you see guys now, like from the Claim to, like, different guys coming through and just training. Like, you never know who pops up at training. So I tell Coz now all the time, like, he's got to, like, it's a weird microcosm of stuff that's going on at Firestar. From a kid who just had a dream of, hey, I want to do a wrestling promotion, to now 10, 11 years later, running a full-fledged wrestling promotion, running shows every month, bringing in people, bringing in talent. And the matches on the card are phenomenal. Like, you guys were at Wrestle Revival. That was, for me, top down. Every match on the card was
so good.
Was
so great.
3 to 5 stars, absolutely. And if it was a 3, I was only because it may have been a little nuanced here and there that might have thrown it off. But other than that, 3 to 5 stars every match. So,
yeah, it truly is what feels like, and this is an oversaid phrase, but it's a lightning in the bottle situation where they almost can do no wrong. Everything is quality. Everything hits.
I'll never forget Manny in the Indies he was Manny Garcia, and he became No Way Jose. Yeah. I never forget it. He was wrestling through here just a couple of months. Like, he had only not been like training long. Literally came through Firestar. Probably a month or two later, WWE picked him up, and he became No Way Jose. So it's like, you never know who you might see.
Yeah, Austin Theory.
Yes, that's another one.
Yeah.
He's on now on Friday nights, and I remember him coming through here.
He wrestled John Cena at WrestleMania, and now he's
a former Firestar Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion. Wrestles John Cena on the biggest stage of them all.
Yeah,
and Jay Malachi was on what feels like every observer style article this week of all the kept on showing up of all the guys doing the trial, all the guys doing that, and he just kept on showing up, and it's like that is a testament to Firestar, a testament to what LeBron is doing, which is different than any other school.
They did Lucky kind of raw. Did you see that?
I haven't watched.
They won't post it. They won't post his name.
Yeah, they don't mention anything that he's done at all. It's just like they put his real name and that he wrestled in college.
Oh wow!
And then they put Jay Malachi, all this stuff, but Jay Malachi is a guy they're putting in the pictures of these are the people that are at the tryout today. He's that next wave, that next guy that's coming through, and he's had a hell of a month.
I look at it too. Hell, Jack. I'm sorry, Jack and Malachi were just training not too long ago with Natty and TJ in Florida. So I tell people you never know who might come through, and I remember. And I can say this now, I'm always being transparent as possible when I do interviews. I remember there was a time where people were scared of Firestar. People didn't really want to work with Kozon. They were like, oh, it's a kid running a promotion. I don't know about this. It had such a bad connotation because here's this young kid. What does he know about running a promotion? But now, I'm sorry, 10 years later, he kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you've got kids getting tryouts. Yeah. One time it used to be, who's going to come out this school? Or who's let's Austin Theory, Jay Malachi. These guys are, and there's more guys now that we don't even know that are on the radar here that are being watched. So
like Robert Martyr that just came through, just like those kind of guys that he's bringing in. And then we do a lot of interviews with people where we kind of ask them hey, where did you how did you get started? And a lot of the older people, it's I Googled it and it's George South. But now it's I Googled it and it's Kozone.
Yep.
So he's kind of taking the mantle of becoming. And it's funny because we had an interview with James Ryan where he said George South is really the only person that ever gave them the benefit of a doubt. And hey, you have my blessing. You guys are doing this right. And now they're kind of becoming the next wave of teachers.
Yeah, I put it up there if you Google wrestling wrestling stars in this area, there's going to be, and people can Google fact check me. I don't care. You're going to find out. There's 3 people's name that there was 2 at one time. It was 2 people's name.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be Cozone's name is going to be the 3rd. George South, C.W. Anderson, and now LeBron Kozone. those three have had. If you take any star in the independent scene in North Carolina, I promise you, at some point, all three of those names are going to be linked somehow. It's like a 60-degree separation, which is weird. So
it truly is a thing where I think Firestar is a top 2 North Carolina wrestling school, and I don't think it's number 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because just of the things that you hear, like, and again, at one point, I mean, you had different. Don't get me wrong, and I say this to everybody, like, you had different wrestling schools from CWF to AML to High Spots to Firestar and everywhere else. And don't get me wrong, those places are great. But the way, for me, Kozone teaches it here, it's not just wrestling basics. It's, I want to be a family first. I don't care about wrestling, or I don't care about, we're going to learn that. You're going to learn all of that. Like, I've had conversation with him personally on the phone, and he's told me, he was like, I want to teach kids, like, I could teach them wrestling all day long. We can do that. But I want to make them better human beings. And that, to me, is what giving back to wrestling means more. Like, you can create it. You can do a prototypical wrestling star. He can talk on the microphone. He can wrestle 60 minutes. That's great. But what is he? Is he a crappy person outside wrestling? Then you don't want to deal with it. So
And it truly is such a real thing. Through the interviews, and we're interviewing all these guys, there has not been a single Firestar guy that, like, we had a bad experience with. In fact, we more often than not, we have good relationships with them.
Speaking of that, and this is how we'll end it. We'll let you get back to your day. What is your least favorite thing about Oliver Sawyer?
Well, Oliver Sawyer has made his name on social media lately for being a bad guy. So apparently he's too bad that he's worked the boys. But I don't know. I'd probably say the thing he's not for me, because I portray a bad guy. I think he could be. I just like the fact that he's not heelish or bad enough.
So he's not living up to his potential.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I feel like when it's all said and done, he could be one of the biggest heels in this area.
Yeah.
But he's not tapping into it. I think it's kind of like he's scared. Like, I don't want to tick people off too much. Yeah. I don't want to be too bad, but who cares?
Well, when he's too bad, they call him out on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's
so most of the time people are like, oh, he's an asshole. Your thing is he's not an asshole enough.
So the thing you dislike the most about Oliver Sawyer is too nice.
It's too nice. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
That's gonna be that's a great time. Sticking to it.
Thank you so much.
This has been great
time, man.